All right. I have never done this before. I've never been on Facebook Live. What happened yesterday, beyond upset me. I don't know if anybody's going to be listening to this. I don't know if anybody's going to be watching it. I'm more doing this for myself. Um, this thing's been going on now, and there's a lot of people who are supporting this, and people who are supporting this based on their fear. They're not based in knowing what they're doing. It's not based in any facts. It's not based on any evidence. The people who are supporting this, they don't do their research. They watch the news. They listen to the politicians. And I know that I have a tendency to, everybody looks at me as a conspiracy theorist. This is not conspiracy, guys. With what we're saying, with what I'm saying, there are real people that are suffering. I'm talking tens of millions of people that are suffering right now. They have no answers. They have nobody to turn to. Your friends, your neighbors, your family members are sitting at home right now considering suicide. They have never even thought about committing suicide in their lives. Why are they thinking about suicide? They're thinking about suicide right now because their world is crumbling around them. They're thinking about suicide right now because they don't know where to turn. Everything has shattered. Their entire world has shattered. Nobody can come visit them. The elderly, they can't come visit them. Here's a fact. This is a fact. Hospitals right now, empty. 8 of them in this state alone right now are ready to close or have closed. Hospitals all over the county, hospitals all over Western New York right now, empty. No COVID patients. None. COVID is real. Absolutely real. 50 million people died last year from 2018 and the 2018-2019 flu season. 50 million people died. I don't know the number here in the States, but somewhere around 70,000. Right now, what is filling each one of these hospitals are suicide patients, or people who have attempted suicide, people who have killed themselves, people who are using opioids now at higher levels than ever before. These are the people that are filling these hospitals right now. And what's happening with the hospitals? They're being released in 2 days. After 2 days to go back home, somebody who has never had mental health history, ever, not once had they had any history of mental health, they now do. And they've attempted suicide. And they've used drugs that they've never thought about using. So we had our protest the other day, right? And everybody's like, oh, they're making jokes. All kinds of jokes. Pulling cars makes a joke about it. But you know what? Pulling cars had to talk about it. You know who else had to talk about it? Cuomo had to talk about it. Cuomo was faced with questions that he hasn't been faced with yet on the topic. Never been faced with any of the questions. Finally had to address them. And you know how he addressed them? The millions of people in this state right now that have never thought about suicide, that are without job, have no idea when they're going back. He addressed it. Sorry guys, I don't know what happened here. I got to get back to my video, but anyways, he addressed it and said that you don't matter. Can you believe that? He goes and tells us all it's we, right? It's all about we. Everything's about we. But nothing is about we. It's all about him. It's all about the COVID patients. But nobody's there. 188 people dead. 188 people dead in Erie County right now in 6 months' time. 188 people. 2,500 people have had it. 2,500 people in Erie County. Erie County has just over 900,000 people. 2,500 people in 6 months of having it. You know why I know it's 6 months? Because CDC.gov was hiring for quarantine professionals back in October 2019 on their website. Erie County Health Services posted flyers on every single Section 8 house back in December and January talking about this. Dated November 2019, COVID-19, right on it. Those are facts, guys. 1,000% facts. Now, we have our governor who is aware of the crisis that's happening in the hospitals. He's aware of the suicide crisis. He knows it's happening, and he doesn't care. His response is, I don't care. They can kill themselves. At least they're not killing anybody else. They're not killing anybody else, but they can kill themselves. But he's humane. Not even taking into account how it's affecting these people right now and their families. I was floored. And then getting the central job, okay, you literally just got done saying that it's we got to protect one another, but go out and get an essential job. What sense does that make? You have 50% of the population right now working. They're not falling ill. Buffalo News did a report. 1% of all medical professionals in Erie County have tested positive for COVID. That doesn't mean they've died. It means 1% have tested positive right now. I'm at a loss. I don't know how somebody and the people that support this could be so inhumane. It's all about the elderly. The elderly, they don't want it. They don't want it. They want to have contact with people. They want it. They want their families to be there with them. They don't know when they can come around. They're terrified. They're scared because the mainstream media is just pushing lie after lie. And now the new narrative is that everything's slowing down. So we got to make sure we take this and draw it out as long as we possibly can, is that the second wave is coming. Second wave is coming. Big bad second wave's coming. None of the science is being looked at. None of the facts are being looked at. I sit here and there's people that I help. I'm out there. I help people every day. And people who have never, ever, ever thought about suicide, people who have never thought about suicide that I help, have thought about suicide. And I'm not talking about thinking about it. Not talking about thinking about it. Have you ever had a suicidal thought? Have you ever had a suicidal thought? Have you ever been at that point where you are hopeless, where you have felt so helpless that you are crippled, that you lay in that bed every day? You don't get up. You have no hope. You're crippled by it. And our governor doesn't care about those people. He has no regard, no concern, no care. I don't know what the death toll is right now in New York State. I don't. The total COVID death, I don't. I know what it's here in Erie County because this is what I can affect. I can affect here in Erie County. And I did, because he had to face questions that he never faced. So thank you for the reporter who did a great job that day and focused in on the real and true intent of what it was and not a Confederate flag. We were there for all of the people sitting in their bed today that are sitting in their beds considering suicide. Have you ever thought about taking pills? Have you ever put the gun in your mouth? Have you ever put the blade to your wrist? Do you know anybody that has committed suicide? Anybody? I do. I work with them. I've worked with them. I've lost them. Elderly. People know, all my friends know how passionate I am about the elderly. What are they doing right now? Who cares about them? My whole neighborhood is filled with people that they're at home scared to death. And they don't know what to do. And our governor's response to this is he doesn't care. He says it's all about we, and we got to protect each other, but then he says it's up to you if you want to kill yourself. At least you're not killing anybody else. I have never in my life heard a politician say that ever. Ever. If you want to kill yourself, kill yourself. At least you're not killing somebody else. If you're that depressed, if you're that upset, go get an essential job. You can't go outside. You're supposed to be quarantined, but go get an essential job. I fight because I know the people that hurt. I've been with the people that hurt. I've lost the people that hurt. The pain that you endure when you are suicidal is inescapable. It is more intense and more painful than you can possibly imagine. Now, thankfully, for me, I've considered it. We all have. We've all been at that point. I've never gotten to the point where I thought really seriously. And the reason why is because I'm like, I have things to live for. If I kill myself, I leave my family behind. I leave my friends behind. I leave all the people that look up to me who think I'm strong. I leave them behind. And then where are they? When they look at me and they see somebody of strength, that I'm able to kill myself, then what do they think? What do they think about the world? What do they think about the people who kill themselves, their families? These people that are killing themselves, and I have 2 friends today that lost friends to suicide. Their story will never be told. Their families are devastated. Their families are crushed right now. And the one person, everybody happy. The guy was happy, loved life, vibrant. He did everything for everybody. Everybody remembers him just being strong. He's dead. Dead. Killed himself. And it could have been prevented. It never had to happen. And we lost another one. And this is being repeated over and over and over again. Don't believe me. Sorry, I got cut off there. But talk to the medical professionals. Talk to the health professionals. They'll tell you what's happening in these hospitals. It's not COVID. My friend is up around Watertown. 6 counties up in Watertown. 15 cases of COVID. 15 cases, not 15 deaths. 15 COVIDs. After this, do your research and take a look about all of New York. And take a look at how many cases there are right now in all of New York, outside of the major metropolitan areas. I don't know if it's true, but I received a post that said 73 people in 1 month had killed themselves somewhere out in Idaho. And out in Idaho, they normally experienced 1, maybe 2 suicides. That was it. They are inundated right now. Inundated with suicides. Suicide calls on crisis services. 10 to 50 times the call volume. And you know what else you can't do? You can't find this information. It used to be there. I used to look at it all the time. All the time. Gone. You page search into Google, into DuckDuckGo. You can't find it anywhere. You can't find the reports. You can't find the hospital reports. It is gone. They used to have monthly totals and a chart with suicide and how the suicide was committed. Used to have that. They don't have it anymore. It's gone. I've asked everybody on my page to go look for it, to go find it. If you find it, let me know. because I can't find it. And it used to be there. They're not telling us how many people are dying from the suicides. They're not telling us how many people are dying from the opioids. Who's telling me are the nurses and the PAs and the doctors that are working in these facilities, and they're seeing no COVID patients, none. But what they are seeing are all the cases of alcoholism that are there. They're seeing all the attempted suicides, people who committed suicide are there, and then the opioid. I mean, they're burying these numbers. They are. I need your help, guys. I need your help. I've got a group that I put together, and I took a look today, and I thought about this from the very beginning. I'm like, what do I do? Like, what do I do to help people, to save people? And you've seen the posts that I've had on there, and then Facebook blocks my posts for a lot of you guys to see, which is okay. But at least some of you are seeing them. But what do I do for the people right now? Like, I don't know. Like, I really, like the Navy sailor that, you know, the petty officer that went onto the beach and put a sign up and said, freedom. He got that beach open. Little things matter. Because right now, nobody's doing anything. So what do? Do I put together a group page where I can, you know, get people who are ready to commit suicide to stop, to help them? That's one thing, right? Do we show videos at these press conferences of families that have lost loved ones to suicide? Do we show somebody suffering from suicide and crippled by it, and the families that are crippled by it? Do we show that? Do I go on the Grand Island Bridge? Do I stand on the Grand Island Bridge and put a sign around me and try to get as many other people to come with me to say, this is what you just said doesn't matter, Governor Cuomo, because you want to save lives? They're not interdependent. Like, how do you not get that? They're mutually exclusive. You can care about the suicide, the people who are out of work, thinking about suicide, doing drugs, drinking alcohol, and drinking themselves into a stupor with alcohol. You can care about all those people. All you care about right now are the COVID patients, and you're using them, and they don't want to be used as an excuse to deprive people of their freedoms. They don't want to be used. You know, I appreciate it, guys. You know, I appreciate you watching. I appreciate you tuning in. I needed to get this off my chest. Like I said, I've never done this before. Never done it. And I didn't know if anybody was going to tune in, but I'm glad some people did. I didn't really get to watch the comments, but we're in a bad place. And I'm glad that what I did the other day, because of people that put together a group to protest, which now these cities and towns are saying they're going to fine people, they're going to arrest people for exercising their constitutional right to go out and protest. And they're using this. I'm proud of the fact that I was down there representing the hundreds of thousands of people that couldn't be there. Person texted me first thing in the morning that day. And this person, incredible person, incredibly accomplished, law enforcement, highly regarded. They texted me and they asked me if they knew somebody that could pick them up. Laid up, can't drive, but they wanted to be down there. That's how important it was to them. And I went and picked them up. And then we had a conversation. And this person had this close to committing suicide. Thinking about it. So, be compassionate. Be there for your friends. Our government isn't. Just please recognize the fact that even if you have a job, that's awesome. But a couple of things about that. You're allowed to work and you're not falling dead. You know, how is that? How is it that all the career fields that are deemed essential aren't falling over dead? Like 1%, 1% of the people who are in direct contact with this virus test positive. 1%. And we don't even know how many people are suffering. The crisis call centers, like I said, the numbers that they've got, 10 to 50 times the call volume. Thanks, guys. I had to get this off my chest. I'm going to go beat the hell out of the punching bag now for a little bit. Take care, guys. Thank you. I don't know how to end this thing. There we go.